Content warning. Cursing. The dream.
My name is Rena, and I'm sitting in my living room yoga studio by candlelight and fake fire, and it's calm here. About a week ago, I had a dream that I woke up and looked out the window and there was snow on the ground. And the next day it snowed.
What does it mean? What does it mean? What does it mean?
Premonition dream.
So this is the weather one that you referenced in Leanna's episode.
Yeah.
This is one of the first dreams that we collected, actually, back in November.
Yeah, I remember it. It's a quickie.
Yeah. Yeah, she's a quick one. It's like 10 seconds long, you know? You know, we could choose to really detour and think about what snow represents and but I guess that would be a digression from what the dream really seems to be, which is just about weather.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a dream about the weather?
I don't think I have. Yeah. Not that I immediately remember.
Uh-huh.
Have you?
I mean, this isn't exactly about the weather, but I, for some reason, have a very clear memory of this one dream that I had when I was 17 and I had just moved to Montreal, and I was having a sleepover at with this group of friends that I had recently made. And there were like 4 of us sleeping on the floor in the bedroom of this mansion, in Rosemont. And I fell asleep for a few seconds or a couple minutes or something, and then woke back up still in the nighttime. And other people were still awake, so I just told them about it immediately. But the dream was just the experience of walking down a street and there was snow on the ground and it was snowing, and listening to the sound of my feet crunching in the snow. Just a really visceral feeling of walking by myself in a winter thing. And at that time it was August or something. So it was very out of place in what actually walking around felt like at that time. Anyway, that's the only dream that I can ever remember where I had this visceral and weather related or, temperature and season related dream. And for some reason it stuck with me.
That's interesting, because that, to me, just to take a little detour and interpret your dream.
Whoa.
I feel like that was kind of about you're having these very kind of intimate, intense, new experiences. You're really embedded in this new environment with these people that you've recently come to know, and you're experiencing it in this really tangible way. You're sleeping on a floor with them, and then you're dreaming about in great detail a circumstance that's really not where you are right now.
Yeah.
Just to highlight how foreign your current experience is to your general sense of normalness.
Oh, interesting.
Or to highlight the newness of it.
Right. Yeah.
But also at the same time highlighting how when you're in a new circumstance, how acutely aware you are of every detail.
Yeah.
I feel that's what your dream is about, which makes me think that what Rena's dream is about was just that she is exactly embedded in her life as she knows it.
Right.
Everything is just as she has expected and knows it to be, and that she's comfortable and established, and the weather when she wakes up is how it was in her dreams, because she is
she is in tune.
Yeah,
everything is lined up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man, that's an interesting way of thinking about premonition dreams. It's inside matches outside. You are you know, you are aligned with all of the little hints and messages and information that's circulating beneath your conscious awareness. Like, your body is a part of its environment. Your environment is related to your body. Like, everything is in sync.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have a dream.
And I mean,
yeah.
To like show another part of my non-logical thinking that you may also find surprising, I do find that when you have deja vu, it's like, it's just like, if there was like such thing as fate, it's just like an affirmation that you're where you're meant to be.
Right.
Like, I don't know if this, maybe, I don't know where I got this from. Like, maybe this is just what everybody thinks deja vu is. But like, I think that it could function in the same way that these premonition dreams do, where like, if you have really strong deja vu about a circumstance, it's because you're like, things are lining up. Like, your brain's like recognizing this, like, yeah, I'm on the right path.
Like, in a way, it's an affirmation of the fact that time is an illusion. It's like, for a moment, you slip out of line and you're like, yeah, this is something that I've experienced because everything has been experienced already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in the same way, you can somehow, I feel like you can slip out of line and like see the cracks in time and like see, you know, like your whole, like all the nebulous paths that you could have been on and like all the, how everything could be different and like you feel like you're falling into a great big hole. Like, I feel like you could have, you know, you have that experience like for moments at the same way that you could have deja vu at moments.
Right. This is like how Tristan has described to me. I think I've told you this before, that sometimes when he wakes up, you know, it's like everyone sometimes I think can wake up disoriented from a really deep sleep or from a dream or something, and for a second forget where you are, especially if you're like sleeping somewhere different. But that he's described to me that happens to him like sleeping at home in our bed, that he has sometimes woken up and like not remembered, you know, like basically his whole life progression up until this point and been like kind of disoriented, being like, where am I right now? Who's this person next to me? And then it sort of slowly comes back to him as he's rising back to consciousness, like all of the details of what has led him here and like who this person is beside him and like what his life is now. And he just kind of like, and it's like a neutral experience. It's just kind of like, oh, right.
But it's that he takes a moment to piece it back together.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really interesting.
Yeah, I've never heard anyone say that. And it just fascinates me because I've definitely never had that experience to that degree. I feel like I've had drug experiences that have brought on something sort of similar, but not like, yeah, just not in my regular life.
I've definitely had it like at kind of like destabilized times or like, just like, you know, times of change. The experience of waking up from sleeping regularly and being like, what's happening? Yeah. Like, where am I?
Yeah. Yeah,
but not to that degree, not to like, who am I? Who is this?
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Yeah, I mean, like,
that's interesting.
More to what you were describing. I've definitely had moments of just something shifts into place or some perspective thing falls into place and suddenly I like am looking at my life from a very different perspective or looking at myself from a very different perspective and having this moment of being like, whoa, like what, you know, like seeing everything in this way that's decontextualized. But yeah. But it's a bit more intellectual than visceral, I think.
Yeah, but I think it's along the same lines.
Yeah.
It serves the same purpose.
So does a premonition dream like this serve a purpose? I guess we're saying that it's signaling to you that you're in tune, that you're in line with what's going on.
I would say.
Is that the same if you have a deja vu then? Is that supposed to be like a good sign? Or is it neutral?
I mean, I think it is a good sign.
Right. I mean,
I don't know if everybody would.
I guess any of these things. I mean, I wanted to mention that I love it when you get new agey like this, because as you said, it is surprising. I feel like when I say stuff like this, you are like, okay.
I roll my eyes at a lot of things that people say that are very similar. Or the same in slightly different words, to be fair.
And I mean, like, I feel the split screen in my mind that I feel about a lot of things where it feels ambiguous to me and like, who knows? And And definitely there's a felt sense of what you're describing that I get sometimes. But then also I think about things like when a friend of mine years ago was having a lot of deja vus, and then he had a seizure, and then he went to the doctor, and the doctor asked him if he'd been having deja vus, because he's like, deja vus are mini seizures. But it's like, that's not, it's neither here nor there, because there's a physical component to any experience. But no matter what they are, they're also seizures.
Yeah. I am also aware of that.
So anybody listening, if you're having a lot of deja vus, like pat yourself on the back, you're in line with your fate, but also maybe go see your doctor. Although that's complicated right now. No one can see their doctors, so I don't know.
Just take note.
Yeah. Be careful with yourself.
Thank you for listening. Help us keep making this by subscribing to and reviewing the podcast wherever you listen to it, and following and liking us on social media.
If you love this, you can support us on Patreon.
We will reward you.